This delicate-looking woman can swing a wolf like an axe with her bare hands. Her name is Ranran, an exiled transmigrator, just dumped on Zuiren Mountain. My child, are you okay? Are you hurt? This mountain is crawling with wild beasts. How could you be here alone? Mom, I'm really fine. It's all your father's fault for being so useless. I just couldn't protect you. Suddenly, Dahuang woke up. Old Man Su and his wife froze instantly, Mrs. Lee's eyes widening as she passed out and slumped backward. Old Man Su's legs turned to jelly, and he collapsed onto the dirt. He shrieked. She quickly caught them both, then whipped her head around to glare at the culprit. Don't worry, Mom and Dad. He doesn't bite. He's actually really sweet. Sweet. That's a manatee tiger, Ranran. Leave us and run. Dahuang, how many times have I told you not to scare my family? Say hello to my parents right now. Wait, what was that noise? It's Zhao Hu from the village. What is he doing here? Well, if it isn't the Su family's precious daughter. Lucky you, not getting dragged off by wild beasts. Perfect. Your parents owe me 10 taels for settling in. Pay up now, or you're coming with me. You're lying. When did we ever owe you money? If I say you do, grab her. Take this girl away. Boys, ha ha. Lo, Dahuang, how many times do I have to teach you manners? Stop growling. See? You're scaring our guests. The tiger gave her a hurt look, whimpered softly. And right before everyone's completely shocked eyes, he reluctantly slunk back and lay down. Ranran turned around, instantly putting on her helpless face. Gentlemen, we just arrived here and have absolutely no money. Please, have mercy and spare us. No, we'll leave right away. Oh, don't rush off, gentlemen. My parents haven't even thanked you for your generous settling-in fee yet. Oh, wait, it wasn't me. I barely even touched it. This rock just crumbled on its own. Terrible quality, really. She's not even human. The old couple stiffly turned their heads from the pile of rubble to their daughter, dazed. Ran, what was that? Ranran blinked innocently, spreading her hands. I told you, the stone was just fragile. See? Not even a scratch. Staring at her still perfect, delicate hands, they fell silent. A wild realization suddenly flashed through Old Man Su's mind. The village elders always said, immortals descend to earth to face trials. Could their daughter be a deity? I get it. I finally get it. Old woman, don't you see? Our daughter is no mortal. She's a goddess descended from heaven, and that tiger is a divine beast sent to protect her. This level of imagination is insane. They should be writing novels. But hey, it saves me the trouble of explaining. This hut is way too small and drafty. Scanning the lush forest, Ranran realized it was time to start some serious construction. Old Man Su and his wife stared at her with absolute reverence. See, old woman, our daughter is a goddess undergoing trials. No ordinary human could crush stone like that. Ranran, divine daughter, are you tired? Are you hungry? Wow, fast-forwarding from an exiled criminal to a literal goddess. That is wilder than my transmigration. Mom, Dad, I'm fine, just a bit hungry. Hungry, right? You must eat. I'll fetch the pots and pans and cook right here on the mountain. I'll head down the mountain right now and haul all our gear up here. What? If you hadn't roared so loud, I wouldn't be this hungry. I'll share some food with you later. Ranran's eyes drifted to the vast slope behind the hut. Flat, scenic, with a nearby stream, it was perfect. But before she could plan, trouble arrived. The path rustled again. It was Widow Zhao, the chief's sister, and her son Dahuang. He was busy directing villagers with stakes and ropes, as if measuring the land. What are you all doing? Oh, it's the Su girl. Like it's any of your business. See this deed? We bought this wild mountain years ago. You exiles took our land, and you dare ask questions. Wow, an ancient demolition squad with a terrible fake deed. But the officers settled us here. Officers, they don't rule our village. My uncle is chief here. Leave now, or we'll get rough. Inside the hut, Dahuang stood up, his massive frame tensing as his bones popped with a low growl. But Ranran ignored it, her fragile body trembling slightly. But the officers really put us here. Cry all you want, it won't help. You are getting off our land today. Period. Play nice, or things will get ugly. He's right. Tie her up. Widow Zhao smirked, watching with crossed arms, fully confident in her victory. Please, don't do this. We have nowhere else to go. Have mercy, sure. Just be a good girl before he finished. Ranran shrank back in terror from his reaching hand, her body slipping backward. Losing her balance, her small hand grabbed the ground, clutching a basin-sized chunk of broken millstone. Oh no, that 100-pound broken millstone slipped right out of her hands. It didn't hit anyone, but it drew a heart-stopping arc through the air. With a terrifying screech, it zipped right over Zhao Dahuang's head, smashing into their ox cart on the path. Looking back at the culprit, little Zuiren Mountain was still frozen in her falling posture. Her pale face and wide eyes screamed sheer panic. No, it wasn't me. The stone just flew off on its own. Oops, she used a bit too much force. She only wanted to break a wheel, but now it was totaled. Pay them back. Not in this lifetime. No way she was paying. Several villagers collapsed to the ground, their screams 100 times more miserable than Zhao whose ever were. A shriek tore from Widow Zhao's throat. She bolted, scrambling away and abandoning her own son. Zhao Dahuang finally snapped out of it, screamed, and chased after her like a madman. Running down the mountain, the slope was left with abandoned hose and a fake land deed tumbling in. The wind. Zuiren Mountain dusted off her hands, her panic and tears instantly vanishing, replaced by a calm, effortless smile. She picked up the fake deed, glanced at it, and effortlessly crumbled the yellowed paper into fine powder between her fingertips. The land is mine. Now, it's time for a home. Meanwhile, Old Man Su and Mrs. Li were hauling their belongings, scrambling up the mountain. We'll build the main house here, 3 rooms, big and bright. A separate kitchen next door, and a huge cellar over there to store winter veggies, and a cozy spot for Dahuang to roll around. Oh, and Mom and Dad's room must face south to stay comfortable year-round. See? Bullying a descended fairy brings instant divine karma. That cart was definitely struck by lightning. Ruin, my sweet girl. Why are you standing in the wind? Quick, eat this food while it's hot. Daughter, look. I hauled all our belongings up here. From now on, our family is putting down roots on this mountain. Mom, Dad, perfect timing. I'm absolutely starving. Mom, is there any more? Before building a home, you've got to secure the food supply. I get it. Using fairy magic drains her energy. She's just recharging her powers. The more she eats, the stronger our girl is. Run. Hang on. Mom will dig up more wild greens. And Dad will gather firewood to make you meat soup tonight. Oh, don't worry about that, guys. Dad, look. Firewood is right here. Now, nobody will think I'm some helpless little bunny. Zuiren Mountain thought happily. She walked over to a massive tree and started a brutal firewood harvest. Mom, Dad, starting today, this mountain is our garden and livestock farm. Tomorrow, we build our house using the absolute best stone and timber to make a fortress no one can tear down. Good girl. Just point. and Dad will bring you water. Meanwhile, deep in the unseen forest, inside a hidden cave, a muffled boom rumbled as the earth trembled. Dust rained down. Leaning against the stone wall, a pale, handsome man snapped his eyes open. An earthquake, or beasts fighting. His injuries were severe and his breath weak, but his deep eyes cut like knives. Who possessed such power nearby? His parents stood frozen. In all their years, they'd seen people chop wood, but never smash it barehanded. They'd seen radishes pulled, but never entire trees uprooted. Mom, Dad, don't just stand there. Help me out. Crouching down, she traced her finger across a flat rock, using it like a drawing board. Food was sorted. Next was shelter. Blueprint in hand, she walked toward the exposed cliff face behind the slope. The solid granite there was top-tier building material. Flexing her arm, she threw a single punch, making the entire cliff face shudder. She pulled back her hand, dug in her fingers, and pried. With a soft crack, a massive, perfectly square stone slab was ripped right out. Within 15 minutes, dozens of identical slabs were stacked neatly on the clearing. That took care of the stonework. Dad, watch the fire. I'll be right back. A moment later, deafening crashes of splintering wood echoed from the forest. She emerged carrying a massive, perfectly stripped log. Like an untiring giant, she went back and forth until logs piled up like mountains. Carpenter and lumber. Check. So this is how fairies build houses. This wasn't construction, it was practically world building. While Suan happily devoured her meal, Mrs. Lee kept ladling hot soup. An old man Su clutched the stone slab carved with their blueprint. Only Dahuang seemed restless, a low, powerful growl rumbling from his throat. The air instantly froze as Dahuang stood up. His massive frame radiated pure intimidation as he crept toward the terrified old man Su. Knock it off. That's my dad. Treat them like parents. Do you even understand me? They're feeding you from now on. You wag your tail for them, just like you do for me. Got it? Resigned, Dahuang nudged Mrs. Lee affectionately. She flinched, but guided by her daughter's encouraging nod, she reached out to pet him. Old man Su watched them, then glanced down at the still smoldering axle of the ox cart, letting out a long sigh. Over the next few days, a construction miracle unfolded on the mountain. With zero machinery, she stomped around barefoot, handling 1,000-pound slabs like light bricks. She stacked them so seamlessly that not even a blade could fit between them. No mortar required. Old man Su wanted to help by passing a wooden peg, but before he could move, she slammed the thick timber into the joint with a bare palm. Awkwardly, he backed away. Meanwhile, Dahuang found his calling as a pack animal. Su and Suan strapped to huge baskets to him. Left for tools, right for snacks. In just 5 days, a massive, majestic stone estate rose from the hillside. Is this a palace? Palace? A palace isn't half as sturdy as this. This is a fairy palace. Finally, we have a home. Next up, filling the granary to eat meat freely. As he planned tomorrow's menu, Dahuang, rolling by the door, let out a low, warning growl at a deer down the hill. Well, another visitor. Oh, a new variety this time, sickly pretty boy. Who are you? What are you doing here? I am lost. May I ask where we are, miss? Can I get some water? Oh, this poor boy looks so pitiful. Drink up and rest. Thank you, ma'am. Gu Chengxiao, a favored son of heaven, had never collapsed so pathetically into a stranger's arms. Don't move. You have a fever, and your wound is open. I was effortlessly scooped up by a girl who looked 2 sizes smaller than me. Mom, Dad, go boil some water and get clean cloth. Dahuang guard the door. If anyone comes, howl first, before taking action. Don't worry, we won't charge you for medical fees. But food is extra. Ruin. Will that young man be okay? His injuries are serious, but they did not hit anything vital. He'll recover once the fever breaks. Jealous, he's just a patient. We'll send him away when he's healed. That's more like it. Gu Chengxiao woke up in agonizing pain. Opening his eyes, the first thing he saw was a strange ceiling made of giant logs. Looking down, his abdominal wound had been newly dressed and neatly bandaged. Mother Li walked in with a medicine bowl. Young man, you're awake. Hurry and drink this. Our Ruin gathered these herbs to break your fever and clear your chest, and it really works. May I ask, ma'am, who saved my life? Our daughter, Ruin. You're lucky, you met our Ruin. She's so kind-hearted. Describing a girl who raises a wild tiger as a pet and builds a stone fortress with her bare hands. As kind-hearted is a bit of a stretch. Ah, you're awake. Since you're up, tell us. Who exactly are you, and why were you hiding in the mountains with such severe injuries? I am Zhu Zhao, a merchant. I ran into trouble, got separated from my guards, and ended up injured. Merchant. My foot? Jiu Zhao? You look more like someone hiding his head but exposing his tail. Fine. If you're a merchant, then you're a merchant. We'll go by business rules. Saving you medical fees are waived, since you're pretty handsome. But lodging, meals, and nursing fees, while you recover? You must pay. Miss, I currently have absolutely nothing on me, and no money. No money, no problem. You can pay with labor. Labor, exactly. See that house? I built it. See that pile of firewood? I chopped it. See that tiger? I raise it. We don't keep freeloaders here. Once you heal a bit, you work. Chop wood, carry water, farm, feed the tiger. There's always a job for you. I, the former crown prince of Dahuang and the future emperor, am actually reduced to working off a debt for a country girl and feeding a tiger. Fine. Good boy, good-looking, and obedient. You'll make a great long-term laborer. The water's boiled, so let's get to work. Is it that hard? Fine. Go carry water then. The mountain spring is just halfway up. Oh, forgot to tell why. Just carried the water over. Your trip was in vain. Was I here to work off a debt? Or was I here to highlight how insanely abnormal this monster of a girl was? Oh, your wound isn't fully healed. Don't touch water. Change into dry clothes first. My dad has clean ones and dry ones. Not bad. At least he's obedient. A prince who had been served from head to toe since childhood. Scrubbed for half the day until his hands were raw red, yet the clothes remained dusty. Meanwhile, Ruin grabbed a shirt and gave a gentle twist, instantly wringing out all the water. I should have learned how to wring clothes instead of studying imperial strategy. This won't do. You have too little strength and the wrong technique. Look at your palm first. You have to imagine the clothes are your deepest obsession. And then wring them with all your might. There was no technique at all. The only technique was to be a monster like her. Gu Chengxiao completely gave up on competing with Ruin in physical labor. He was assigned a more suitable job. A clerk. His daily task was using charcoal on slate to record. Today, 5:45 a.m. Ruin enters forest. 7:15 a.m. returns with one wild boar, about 340 pounds. The tiger used its tail to write its name. Dahuang didn't know how, got flicked on the forehead 10 times, and cried for half an hour. I felt like I wasn't recording a family's daily life, but detailing the genesis of a deity. Hey, kid, your body is too weak. Can't carry, can't lift. How will you get a wife later? Look at our Ruin. We've been building houses and clearing land. The commotion is too big. I'm afraid it'll attract the people downhill. If they come, let them. My hands are itching for a fight anyway. Dad didn't mean troublemakers, but the government officials. We're exiles sent to this deep mountain. Every year, we have to pay a poll tax to prove we're still alive. Our house is only dozens of miles away, so they'll find us sooner or later. Oh, honey, what should we do? Those people are greedy. The local officers in this exile area are often worse than the cruelest torturers in the capital. How much is the tax to taels of silver per person? For our family of 3, that's 6. Not to mention, if they see our cleared land, they'll charge land clearing and mountain occupying fees, setting any price they want, and we can't afford it. Wow. 2 taels of silver per person. That's highway robbery. Looks like it's time to teach them a lesson about what physical persuasion really means. September 7th. Clear. A storm is coming. It seems someone is coming to deliver money to us. Zuiren sat on a stone bench in the yard, holding an animal bone from somewhere, carving it meticulously. Gu Chengxiao sat nearby, under the distant porch, holding a worn scroll. My eyes kept drifting toward the girl carving wood. Big Yellow lay lazily at Zuiren's feet, tail sweeping the floor, throat rumbling with a satisfied purr. The dog's purring suddenly stopped. Zuiren stopped carving and looked up, her clear eyes completely calm. Yes, they are here. Don't worry, Mom, Dad. Go inside. You'll be fine. Not opening up, trying to dodge taxes. Boys, break it down. 1, 2, 3, push. Is this door made of solid iron? Try again. Ha! Well, who knew such a remote place hid such a pretty little thing? Officer Xiao, what brings you here in person? Old Su, did your family strike it rich? Building such a grand house on Mount Zuiren. Under imperial law, exiled criminals cannot build private mansions. This offense is enough to throw you back in prison. Mercy, we have no money. This shack is just thrown together. It's worthless. Who are you kidding? Either pay up, or come with us. 3 of you, that's 2 taels per head, so 6 taels, plus the land clearing and mountain fees. Let's round it to 20 taels. What? Too much. Fine, then don't blame us. Men, take everything of value. Pay the tax with your goods. Get out of my way. Ha ha. Stop. What's the matter, little lady? Changed your mind. If you submit and play nice, we can work something out before bed. Mother, it's fine. 20 taels. Right, exactly. And not a single penny less. You've got nothing. We don't have that much. No money? Then you'll pay with your body. Let go of me. Officer, look, this is really all the silver we have left in the house. We can't get 20 taels. Cut the act. This silver was exchanged in town long ago. It's so old and worn out. In the yard, only the silver dust piled on the ground shimmered with light. Zhao Ci's eyes nearly popped out of his skull. Officer, look at this silver, the quality is terrible. Behind Zhao Ci, a young guard's legs went weak. Terrified, he started foaming at the mouth, his pants rapidly soaking wet. Officers, what's wrong? He swung his sword at Zuiren. Watch out, don't hurt yourself. Zuiren merely caught it with 2 fingers, applying a little force, snapping the thick steel blade in half. Great Aunt Goddess Bodhisattva, I was blind. I am scum. I am nothing. Please, show mercy and spare my worthless life. Ha ha ha, spare me, please, ha ha. Still collecting taxes? No more, no more, no more. I deserve to die. I'll never dare again. This is a tribute. A tribute. Please don't stop giggling and get lost. Ha ha ha, he ran to the gate, suddenly remembered something, knelt down with a thud, turned around, and heavily kowtowed 3 times to Su Ruin. Only then did he scramble away on all fours. Su Ruin walked over, kicked the guard sprawled on the ground, and said, and that other one too. Take them all and get lost. What a waste. I could have made an earring out of this. The iron is pretty good. I can melt it down to make Dad a new woodcutter's axe. Mom, Dad, we're safe. I once believed that political schemes, military tactics, and human hearts were the most powerful weapons in existence. But witnessing this today made me realize how laughable and fragile they are before absolute power. Dinner smelled as delicious as ever. But the normally lively table was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Old Su buried his head, silently shoveling rice into his mouth, while Mrs. Su kept piling on food, building a mountain in his bowl. Her lips trembled, as if she wanted to speak, but didn't know how. Her eyes held a mix of love and an undeniable hint of unfamiliarity. Why isn't anyone eating? Daughter, tell your father the truth. Where on earth did you get this insane strength? I don't know either. One day I just woke up like this. Maybe I tripped on the mountain and knocked some sense into my head. Mountain God's blessing. Mountain God's blessing indeed. Zuiren Mountain smiled with relief, watching them rationalize it. As for me, having read 10,000 books and met countless I knew there was no such absurd awakening. I always thought I was playing chess, with the world as my board and living beings as my pieces. But Zuiren Mountain's existence showed me that some forces can simply flip the board, crushing player and pieces alike into dust. Daughter, don't let young Ju chop wood or carry water anymore. His fragile body can't take a single tap of your finger. Right? Let him study more and teach me how to read the blueprints. Me, the Crown Prince, reduced to a mere literacy tutor. The meat is gone. We have no stock left. Tomorrow's meals will be simpler, but it's already dark. The mountain isn't safe. It's fine. I'll be right back. Daughter, let him go. The only things that need to worry on this mountain are the wild beasts. Just as Gu Chengxiao was about to head to bed, he saw Zuiren Mountain walking out of the forest. She let go of the rope, leaving 3 massive wild boar carcasses piled like a mountain in the yard. Old Su and Mrs. Su ran out and stood frozen at the sight. Mom, Dad, guess what? I just entered the forest and saw these 3 boars knock themselves unconscious on the exact same tree. Maybe they had a midlife crisis. Gu Chengxiao silently picked up charcoal and wrote a new entry on the smooth stone. September 10th, Ruin entered the forest. Wild boars kneeled. 3 wild boars, totaling about 1,000 pounds, 'cause of death. Depressed. Leaving all this meat out to rot would be a crime. We will butcher it all. Some for cured meat, some for jerky, and salt the rest to last months. Zuiren Mountain slid her knife across the tough hide. The thick flesh split open, leaving a cut as smooth as glass. Saving this hide for she disassembled the entire wild boar within 15 minutes into perfectly even chunks of meat. And a clean skeleton. Gu Chengxiao, stop daydreaming and get over here to help. That kid really needs some training. The family worked deep into the night, finally getting all 3 wild boars completely processed. As a reward, Zuiren Mountain roasted the tenderest loin over the fire. Grease dripped onto the coals, sizzling. The aroma made Big, Yellow restless, pacing around the flames. Whining and whimpering. Before long, a mob carrying torches appeared at the courtyard gate. Old Man Su and his wife turned pale, while Gu Chengxiao frowned. Their worst fear had happened. What is that smell? Old Brother Su, you hid this well. This rich aroma reaches halfway across the mountain. Good heaven. What is your family up to? How much fortune did you make? This is enough meat to feed the whole village for a month. Brother Su, you are exiled convicts. Technically, you cannot have contact with the outside. Yet you build a mansion and hoard meat. If the officials find out, it is a massive crime. Village Chief Wang, we just found these wild boars by luck. Tell me, what kind of wild boars line up to be picked up? Old Su, let's be frank. This mountain is King A County territory. You cannot eat meat here while denying the villagers below even a sip of broth. Give us half, or we report you. The chief is right. Since you are here, we cannot let you leave hungry. Parents, set up tables and chairs. Gu Chengxiao, grab the chopsticks. Tonight, I am hosting a barbecue. Is this girl completely crazy? Ah, the Su girl has some sense. Everyone, do not be polite. Sit down. Zuiren unhurriedly took down a massive chunk of raw pork from the rack. Then, grabbing a chipped cleaver from the kitchen, she knelt and picked up a millstone-sized boulder. This knife is too dull. Strangely, she scraped off stone powder, not iron shavings. She looked at the heavy, bony pork. Instead of cutting it, she raised her fair, petite fist. One punch landed with a dull thud. Oh, too much force. So, sorry, uncles. This meat is ruined. How about I grind up some bone splinter soup for you instead? Wang Logan and the villagers, frozen in sheer terror, fled in terror. A monster. She is definitely a monster. The yard was left with only scattered tools and a pile of minced meat. Old Su looked at the abandoned hose, then at his calm daughter. He silently began cleaning up. What a waste of good meat. Zuiren did not care. She scooped it up for Big Yellow. Here is your treat. Do not be picky. This strength is to waste it on hunting boars and scaring villagers. Can I ask you a question? Ask. Now that we built a house, do you want a palace-sized city? A city. Think of all the stones. Too exhausting. Our house is fine as long as it blocks the rain. You chased off villagers, but what if a magistrate comes? A general, or even the emperor. If they rob your family, what then? Is the emperor really that strong? He commands thousands of troops and countless corrupt officials. With one word, he decides the life and death of everyone. Still, he cannot take my meat. If he tries, I will beat him up. He has thousands of troops. How many? 1,000? 10,000? Sounds like a lot. Can I beat them all? She possessed a simple, powerful logic, centered on herself, with fists enforcing right and wrong. In this system, an emperor is no different from a villager. Thousands of troops and 3 boars are just different numbers. I understand. Gu Chengxiao stood up and bowed deeply to Zuiren. You are weird. Zuiren was utterly baffled. Gu Chengxiao did not explain. He walked back to the massive stone slab, stopped recording their daily lives, and put charcoal to stone. Drawing the first stroke. From now on, he would only paint the vast world. Gu Chengxiao, what are you drawing? The grand strategy. First, let this powerful deity realize exactly what her power could achieve. By morning, the yard was clean, and the villagers' abandoned tools were stacked neatly in the corner by old Su. Gu Chengxiao sat awake all night with charcoal in hand. Zuiren leaned in. Is this a treasure map? This is the world. This circle is huge. Can we find bigger wild boars there? How do I explain this? The wild boars there are the fattest, holding the world's finest meat. So when do we go? First, we must pave a road. A safe road to walk over and bring the meat back. This plan is good. But this road is built on sacrifice and paved with deep schemes. Do not go today. Yesterday's mob took a loss, but trouble is just beginning. They still dare to return. No, but they will find someone who does. She followed his advice, put down her hoe, grabbed a stool, and sat petting Big Yellow while waiting for trouble. She waited all morning until late afternoon. Big Yellow purred under her hand. Zuiren almost fell asleep. Is Gu Chengxiao just trying to slack off? Someone is coming. Leading the pack was Chief Wang Logan. With a wealthy man around 40 riding a sedan chair on the bumpy path, she held her teacup so steady that not a single drop spilled. It was indeed Nanny Gui. Walking up to the courtyard gate, she paused, not entering immediately, but pulling out a snow-white handkerchief, she covered her nose. The wild beast's foul stench, mixed with the greasy smell of cheap food, was utterly revolting. Zuiren, she stepped into the yard, bringing a thick, cloying scent of cheap powder with her. Seeing your elder, you still don't stand up. Have you stayed in this wilderness so long that you've forgotten even the most basic rules? Dahuang, who had been dozing peacefully at Zuiren's feet, twitched his nose. His golden, slit-pupil eyes snapped open. He hated this foul stench, and what annoyed him even more was the source of the smell. That two-legged creature was staring at his master with a look he absolutely despised. So, the king of beasts slowly stood up. His massive near-human tall frame loomed like a small mountain. He silently shielded Zuiren, a low, menacing growl vibrating from the depths of his throat. Wang Logan and the villagers collapsed, their legs giving out completely, while Nanny Gui froze, terrified by the sudden appearance of the giant beast, her face turning pale. Get back, you beast! Nanny, please calm down. This animal knows no better. I will tie him up right away. No need. Zuiren, our madam didn't send me to this godforsaken wilderness to watch you play with wild beasts. She has a few things for me to tell you personally. First, the Su family, out of past kindness, will ensure you don't starve. But you must remember your place, keep your head down, and cause no more trouble. She couldn't finish, because Dahuang moved. He didn't roar, nor did he threaten. He simply paced forward like a giant cat patrolling his own territory, stopping right before Nanny Gui. Terrified by the crushing pressure of his massive frame, she instinctively stumbled back. You beast, Dahuang didn't bite. He just opened his massive jaws, clamped his sharp canine teeth onto Nanny Gui's collar, and tossed his head, effortlessly lifting her clean off the ground. The entire world spun before Nanny Gui's eyes. Her meticulously styled hair fell completely wild in an instant. Her silver hairpin clattering to the dirt as an ear-splitting shriek finally erupted from her throat. Annoyed by the noise, Dahuang shook her back and forth, scattering the contents of her sleeves all over the yard. Old Man Su and his wife froze in shock. But Gu Chengxiao stood under the veranda, watching the absurd scene with a slight smirk. This show was far more amusing than anything in the capital. Dahuang spit it out. She's dirty. Don't eat her, even if you're hungry. Did you hurt your teeth? Look at you stuffing random things into your mouth. I told you, things from outside are filthy. Help, somebody save me. Aren't you curious what your dear sister wrote in her letter? Me? Curious. It won't be anything good anyway. I'd rather focus on what we're having for lunch. By the way, is the capital you drew earlier where these people came from? Are the wild boars there all so essily frightened? Most of them are. But some are even more vicious than this tiger. Now that sounds interesting. But she belongs to the Su mansion. Offending them like this, what will we do now? Mom, with me here, the sky won't fall. And even if it does, I'll just push it back up. That's true, I keep forgetting my daughter isn't that helpless little rabbit everyone bullied anymore. Meanwhile, Old Man Sue silently picked up the silver hairpin Nanny Gooey dropped and rubbed it against the grindstone in the yard several times, grinding its sharp tip into a smooth, harmless curve. He handed the polished hairpin to Sue. Here, sweetie, keep it to play with. Just don't poke your hand. Gu Chengxiao fell into deep thought, holding the letter. The wax seal on the envelope bore an elegant orchid pattern. This isn't the Sue family crest. Glancing at Zuiren, he chose not to open it in public. Back in his room, as the light dimmed, he carefully pried open the seal with his fingernail and pulled out the paper. The handwriting was delicate and elegant, clearly from a woman's hand. Gu Chengxiao quickly scanned the words. Left to rot, the Sue family was indeed as hypocritical as ever. Right beneath Su Chinking's signature, he noticed an extremely faint, tiny dot, a tiny hole pricked with a needle. Holding the paper up to the sunlight, filtering through the window, the beam pierced the pinhole. Casting a faint speck of light in the dim room, he reached out, gently brushing his finger over the speck of light. A pinprick cipher. A massive conspiracy spanning the entire court lay hidden within this letter. He needed to decipher this cipher. Laying the paper flat on the table, he brushed water gently across the back. As it soaked in, the hidden pinholes and indentations began to show faint marks. This wasn't Dahuang script, but a code from the fallen state of Lai. The dragon spreads its wings, waiting for the eastern wind. Every autumn hunt, the imperial family leaves the capital for the eastern grounds. This was no boastful sisterly Lorette, was a message of treason and collusion. The Sue family, seemingly loyal ministers of court, were secretly working with the Beatty. His own deposition and exile, and the Sue family's role, what part did they play in it all? It was a setup from start to finish. And he, the former crown prince, now a disgraced sinner, had somehow stumbled upon a corner of this massive treasonous web. Right here, on this isolated mountain. This chess game has only just begun. Hey, why isn't the meat grilled yet? Remember that huge fat wild boar in the capital I told you about? Someone wants to slaughter it before we can, and hand the entire pig pen to outsiders. You mean someone wants to steal our pig and give away our future farm to someone else? Exactly. The big boar is the emperor. Those who want to slaughter him are corrupt court officials, like the Sue family. And the pig pen they're giving away is for our fierce northern neighbors, the Beatty. Don't they have their own pigs? Why steal ours and give the pen away? Where will we raise ours? They think theirs aren't fat enough, and their pen is too small. Plus, they think the people in our pig pen are easy targets. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go to the capital and stop those pigs stealing, but it's full of spiders. No, not now. Why? Because right now, it's just the two of us and a tiger. We have no food, no safe shelter, and we don't even know the way to the capital. Going like this, let alone getting anything done, we'll starve to death on the road. I might be strong, but I eat a ton, and Dahuang eats even more. If we running out of food is a massive problem. First, we must make this our foundation a base where, no matter how wild the storms are outside, we can sleep soundly and eat our fill. With solid roots, a tree can grow tall enough to fight for space and resources. Yes, we need our own land to grow endless food. We need our own water source instead of hauling it up. We need a sturdy house, weatherproof. Once our own little pigsty is built, then we can worry about that giant pigsty out there. I get it. We build an unbreakable home right here, first, one that nobody can. And once we stock up on rations, we move. The water we fetched earlier isn't drinkable. It has to settle slowly. For ages. Mom, I'll fetch the water starting tomorrow. No, absolutely not. You are a girl. That work is way too exhausting. Zuiren didn't argue. Early the next morning, at first light, she shouldered to empty buckets and left with. But instead of heading for the regular pool, she marched straight into the uncharted depths of the back mountain. We need our own water. Carrying it daily is a pain. Since this mountain is my territory, why not make the water flow straight to our home? Dahuang trotted behind her, amid thick thorns and jagged rocks. Decades of exile bans had left this wilderness completely wild and untouched. Yet, Zuiren strolled through it like her own backyard. She swept aside blocking brush with a casual wave and shattered fallen logs with a single step. Her goal was clear. Water flows downward, but the source is always at the top. She wasn't looking for stagnant puddles, but a living spring. Climbing a massive boulder, she scanned the horizon. The misty peaks rolled like a sleeping beast. Her gaze swept across lush vegetation and moss-covered rocks. As she parted a final thicket of giant head-high ferns, a breathtaking sight opened up before her eyes. A massive, mossy stone cliff stood there, split down the middle, gushing crystal-clear water. Who knew this desolate mountain hid such a magical fairy tale oasis? This is gold. Zuiren circled the spring, then climbed higher. The jagged rocks and dense forest looked intimidating, but in her eyes, this was the absolute shortest route. All right, let's do it. She decided to carve a canal right through the ridge and forest, and lead it straight to her water jar. Didn't find any water? Found some great water, just a bit far. I'm going to make it flow over on its own. Flow over, yeah, I'll just dig a channel. Easy. Countless ancient irrigation projects, each required massive manpower and resources. Once again, I had made the mistake of applying normal logic to her. Oh no, Sue. Young master, the county officials are here. What are they here for? What else? Nanny Gui definitely talked trash. Someone complained that our mountain is plagued by man-eating beasts, terrorizing the area. Officer Chun is personally leading a dozen guards up here to slay the beasts and investigate everyone. How many? Where are they? Quite a few, all armed. They're at the bottom. I took the shortcut. Talking won't help. Resisting means openly defying the law, proving our guilt. He looked at Zuiren, but she wasn't even listening. Connect this part to here. Yes, like this. Girl, did you hear me? The officials are coming. They're going to kill Dahuang. She was completely absorbed in her water project, showing zero care about the guards. This part needs to be deeper, or it won't flow. And here, we need a diversion gate, or the downstream fields won't get watered. Everyone move faster. Before it gets dark, we must find that beast for me. What was that sound? Thunder? No, doesn't sound like it. So could it be the beast ramming the mountain? Nonsense. Let's go check it out. How is this possible? This is terrifying. Zuiren was building the canal without any tools. She simply bent down, grabbed a rock, braced her core, and slowly stood straight up. Up you go. The massive boulder was tossed effortlessly onto the nearby empty ground, shaking the entire mountain. Help! Grab my horse. Finally, it's out. Wow, this water is so sweet. The entire valley now had a rough channel dozens of yards long and 3 feet wide. Zuiren smiled and moved to the next rock. Officer Chun stood shaking, his lips purple with fear. His mind went completely blank. Trembling, he turned to Wang Logan, who looked ready to faint, and asked in a daze, Who is she? Wang Logan was speechless. Right then, a slender figure appeared behind them, out of nowhere. Oh, she's just a hired hand at my place. A hired hand? A hired hand. Today's canal looks like it'll be finished ahead of schedule. Officer Chun questioned his entire life. This is impossible. The guards behind him cowered in sheer terror. They began to quietly back away, wishing they had extra legs. Who are you? Gu Chengxiao did not answer. He just stepped aside, opening up the view to the valley. Zuiren Mountain made another move. She raised her foot, and the massive boulder shattered into random pieces that rolled down into the ditch. Still unsatisfied, she kicked several of the largest fragments, sending them flying dozens of yards away to stack neatly in an open space. "Ha, much better," she hummed. Up on the hill, there was dead silence. Zuiren Mountain temporarily paused her work, causing the endless rumbling to stop. This sudden silence pushed the crowd's terror to its absolute peak. Ignoring his crooked official hat, Registrar Chun scrambled over to Ji. "My dear lord, this humble official was blind. I listened to that wicked servant's lies and disturbed the peace of this mountain. What a terrible mistake." Behind him, the bailiffs quickly sheathed their blades, bowing and scraping alongside their master, barely daring to breathe. Good grief, why was this high official acting like a mouse facing a cat? Everything I have ever seen in my life does not compare to today. Was not Registrar Chun supposed to be hunting down some fierce beast? What beast? Where would a beast come from? This mountain is a peaceful sanctuary, blessed by imperial grace. The villagers are all honest folk. There are no beasts here, only rumors. Pure rumors. I will report this to the magistrate immediately, to clear the mountain's name, and have that lying servant thrown into a cell for interrogation. Gu Chengxiao turned his gaze toward the valley. Zuiren Mountain seemed to notice the noise, stopping her work to look over. Registrar Chun felt like a prehistoric beast was staring him down, and cold sweat instantly drenched his official robes. "Young master, look, it's getting late. We won't disturb your workers' labor any longer. We'll leave right now." "Right away." Registrar Chun paused. "What was that? Oh, this is the mountain shifting? This is a heavenly blessing. A sacred spring has appeared. A clear sign of the magistrate's fine governance. Even this mountain senses heaven's mercy, opening its own channel to guide pure water here. It must have been carved by last night's fierce storm and floods." "Yes, a flood. We climbed the mountain to investigate strange noises out of concern for your safety. Now that we see everyone is safe, this official can rest easy." "Is that so? Then I'll trouble Registrar Chun to put in a good word with the magistrate. This mountain is remote, and the villagers only want to live a quiet life." "Absolutely. Rest assured, young master, I understand. I completely understand. What are you standing around for? Get lost. All of you. Scram down the mountain." He laughed out loud. Move. Run faster." "Logan, what about what we saw today?" "I saw absolutely nothing. Just a flash flood carving out a channel on the back hill, bringing forth a sacred spring. You led your men up here, braving the danger, to keep us safe. You're a smart man. Just remember, there are no beasts here, only blessings. Anyone who spreads rumors is an enemy of our county's good fortune. Got it?" Having sent away those pests, Wang Logan limped home, still picturing Zuiren Mountain shattering a massive boulder with a single kick. If that wasn't a miracle, what was? You guys should have seen it. That mighty Registrar Chun marched up the mountain, but the moment he saw our girl, his face turned pale. How powerful is she? She found a rock in her way, and that thing was larger than 3 houses. She walked over, shoved her hands under it, and ripped it right out of the ground like she was pulling a turnip. She tossed it into the sky, and boom, it smashed down, blasting a massive crater. Then she kicked another giant rock into dust. The officers panicked, dropping to their knees to beg the mountain goddess for mercy. Over the next 2 days, The villagers heard a continuous rumbling echoing from the back hills. May the gods protect us. May the gods protect us. 2 evenings later, when Zuiren Mountain returned home exhausted but excited, she grinned widely at her anxious parents and the perfectly calm Ji. Father, mother, it's done. Right on cue. The sound of rushing water echoed from outside. A stream of crystal-clear water flowed along a crude stone and dirt channel, pouring precisely into a newly dug pit in the corner, forming a natural reservoir. Her parents stared in sheer disbelief as the endless spring water filled half the pool. It was actually flowing water. No more walking miles of mountain trails to haul water. No more worrying about their daily water supply. All of this massive project, which normally would have taken years and hundreds of laborers, had been completed in record time. The canal project was an absolute success. The mood at dinner was wonderful. Mother Sue cooked rice with the fresh spring water, giving it a sweet aroma. Old Man Sue did something rare, bringing out a small jar of saved wine. There was finally hope for their future. Who is it? Who's calling this late? Brother Sue. It's Tai Zui. I brought you some wild game. I heard you guided the sacred spring here. What wonderful news. I apologize for my behavior the other day. Please accept this small token of respect. It's to help Sister the mountain goddess nourish her body. Sister Sue, we don't have much, but please take these vegetables for Miss Ru. Soon, one neighbor after another started showing up. They were all neighbors from the mountain, bearing gifts and looking utterly reverent. Zuiren wondered, why? Just because I dug a water canal, did they all rush to bring gifts? She looked at Gu Chengxiao asking with her eyes. Raising his wine cup, Gu Chengxiao gave her a knowing smile. Your pig pen, he murmured. Zuiren tilted her head, starting to understand. If you build the strongest pig pen, the people in the other pens will naturally deliver the best food. The mountain's new order was quietly established through these silent, repeated offerings. When villagers saw her parents on the road, they would stop and bow deeply. Her father even found a new role. Uncle Sue, what should I plant here? Plant beans. The soil is rich, they'll grow strong. Now, his words carried more weight than the village chief's decrees. The light is too bright. Let me sleep a bit more. Smells so good, tastes delicious. Zuiren had finally got the life of her dreams. Sleeping in the yard with her head on, her dog's warm fur, rolling around in his thick fur, Dahuang's noisy movements woke me from my sleep. Meanwhile, tributes from the mountain villagers were piled high. A chaotic variety filling the space. The Sue family's new storehouse was packed with everything from grains and fresh veggies to wild game. That afternoon, Zuiren lounged on a rocking chair in the courtyard, happily munching on a sweet melon. Old Zhang really did a good job picking it. Gu Chengxiao sat at the stone table, a rough animal hide spread before him. Sketching with a piece of charcoal, he called out, Ruin. You establish your authority, and I will write the rules for you. Master Ju, Sue sister. Someone from the county is here again. Are they coming to hunt the beast? No. It is just Advisor Liu, from the county office, and he is all alone. He is riding a little donkey and brought a ton of gifts. Oh my, this place is truly blessed, absolutely brimming with spiritual energy. I am Lu Jing from the county office. By order of the magistrate, I have come to congratulate you on Zuiren Mountain's spiritual spring. Ha! The magistrate heard the patrol officer's report and was overjoyed. He called this a divine blessing to be celebrated with the villagers. These humble gifts are a small token of his appreciation. Furthermore, His Honor decrees that since Zuiren Mountain is nourished by a spiritual spring, it should be well preserved and kept free from outside disturbance. Starting today, Zuiren Mountain is exempt from all annual taxes to the government. Thank you, advisor, for making this long trip. Please convey our deepest gratitude to the magistrate for his kindness. Our mountain folks are simple, people who only want to live and work in peace. We will never cause his honor any trouble. Of course, the magistrate knows very well how honest and peaceful you mountain folk are. Quiet, returned to the yard. Old Man Su and Mrs. Lee stared at the 2 bags of polished white rice, completely at a loss for what to do. Su Ruan finished her last bite of melon and tossed the rind aside. Dahuang turned his head away in utter disgust. Hey. Are we going to live here forever from now on? This is our route. The deeper the roots, the taller the tree grows. Only then can we visit bigger pig pens and see fatter pigs in the future. She walked over to Dahuang and squatted down. She reached out to pinch his big, fluffy ears. Dahuang closed his eyes in pure comfort, a deep rumble vibrating from his throat, sounding exactly like a giant tractor starting up. Hey, big guy. That guy today seemed terrified of you. From now on, you answer the door. If anyone tries to cause trouble, you go scare them off. My strength is great, but fighting all the time gets tiring. You look so fierce, you are perfect for intimidating people. From now on, you are my personal bodyguard. Dahuang let out a massive yawn, exposing a row of razor-sharp teeth, before affectionately rubbing his huge head against Su Ruan's leg. Settling into a cozier spot, he went back to sleep. The young girl and the wild tiger formed a serene yet incredibly powerful picture. A brand new chapter for Zuiren Mountain was just beginning. Meanwhile, that secret letter, tied to the bloody chaos of the outside world, still lay quietly in Gu Chengxiao's room, waiting for the perfect wind to carry it away.